My sister yelled at me because my body didn't really change after I gave birth and hers did. I'm 20 and my sister is 26. Her baby is 7 months and my baby is 9 months old. I'm a naturally skinny person. I gave birth and my postpartum body isn't that different from my body before the baby. I see my sister every day, we're neighbors. My sister's body did change significantly and she struggles with accepting it. My boyfriend, 23, and I went out and my sister and parents watched over my baby. Really it was my parents, my sister just went to their house. When I came back, everything just exploded in my face. After a tense conversation between us, she started somewhat yelling at me, and it wasn't even for something I did, it was about who I was. She was saying that I was trying to be better than her and walk around like I'm perfect with my perfect little body and perfect little mind, talking to me like I had done something to her. I didn't even say anything back because I didn't want to escalate anything since the kids were right there and just tried to calm the situation down. My parents told me that they'll make sure she gets home safely, so I went home with my boyfriend and the baby. I don't know where this came from because usually she'll make sly comments, but I thought it was just banter or something that wasn't too big of a deal. Is there even anything I can do? Some of the stuff she said actually hurt my feelings, but I don't even know if me being around is creating a health space for her right now. I don't agree with the way your sister is acting. Is this normal behavior for her? If not, it may be possible that she's experiencing postpartum depression. For some people, depression will appear outwardly as extreme anger. You might want to talk with your parents about this. Because your sister is taking things out on you right now, it would probably be better for them to address it with her. In any case, you did the right thing not reacting. I hope things get better for the two of you. She needs help you can't give her. She either gets therapy or you just keep her out your life. Has there been anything wrong with your sister recently? Has she gone to therapy or maybe has postpartum? What your sister said is not okay. You can't fix it because she needs to fix herself and her attitude or it first. It's not okay that she's placing all this blame on you for nothing. It sounds like she's really struggling mentally with something. Personally, I'm so afraid to have kids because of what might happen to my body after. I'm hardly in a good place with my body now, so I can only imagine how fucked I might be after. Your sister needs to get help and you don't need to apologize at all or do anything. She's the one that needs to apologize to you. There isn't really anything you can do because you haven't done anything wrong in the first place. Going off of the information provided here, it seems that she is jealous. You could maybe, if you want to, ask her to go for walks with the baby some evenings, encourage her to get some exercise. I just don't see how you can fix this though because you didn't break it in the first place. I agree with others that it may be a touch of PPD. Maybe jealousy. Honestly, you're 20. She's 26. I had a kid before I was 18 and again at 25. How my body reacted were two completely different ways, not just because of it being my second but just because of age alone. I went in to have my kid full term at a certain weight and by the next one I was there before I hit the third trimester and I started out pregnant at almost the same weight. It just happens. Let her cool down, it's not your fault. Well, as women get older they gain more adipose tissues, body fat, so it's just natural for her. She's jealous of you and is insecure with her body. She can always work out and eat healthily to have a more fitted body. She probably has postpartum depression. She's going through things. Just give her space. She'll come around when she is ready to apologize. When she comes back around, make sure to confront it and tell her how it hurt your feelings and that while you get she is going through a tough time, that behavior is not acceptable. Maybe it's postpartum. Maybe it's just previous body image issues rearing their ugly head. But it sounds like your sister needs help from a proper therapist. You aren't responsible for her, but it might be worth suggesting it to your parents. Are you okay? It is actually easier for women to get their bodies back after giving birth when they are younger. Since you are 20 and she is 26, it is quite obvious that you would get back into shape easier. Biology doesn't lie, unless my teacher did. My 34 male wife, 35 female, keeps telling me to change jobs to make more money. I live in a high-cost area and work in tech but make a decent salary around $170K. My wife makes about $10K less than I do. We are not hurting for money in any way, no student loans or CC debt, and have a nice nest egg. She keeps telling me to leave my job in an attempt to make more money. She feels like meaning she, is missing out on more income. I like my job, my coworkers, and the flexibility offered is unbelievable, giving me time to take care of the majority of household tasks. I do all the grocery shopping, cooking, dishes, laundry and looking after our 2 dogs and child. I don't want to get a new job only to work an additional 20–30 hours a week just make another 30–40K. Future daycare costs would greatly exceed this. She doesn't understand this and pushes this sore subject again and again, even after acknowledging it's my decision. She plays the passive-aggressive card shortly after the fight. How can I help her understand my stance around my decision once and for all? Am I missing something from her perspective? Tell her, no, I'm not quitting my job and I'm not changing my mind anytime soon. If she wants more money she can get another job and work for it. Your family is doing well financially and not hurting for money, you've done your part. She is welcome to switch jobs to make more. I like my job. I like the perks it offers, including salary. I'm not concerned about our financial situation. I am concerned about the fact this is still coming up when I've told you repeatedly that I don't see this as a problem in need of addressing. So either we need to find room in the budget for counseling to get to the bottom of why you disagree strongly enough that you're not respecting my position on the subject or focusing on your own job search. If you're this convinced we need to be earning more and don't think other factors should play a role in that consideration, or I need you to drop it once and for all. If that doesn't work, then remind her you're not having this argument again, or just go ahead and get the counseling session lined up. If she wants more money, why is she not looking to change her work and work more hours? She sounds incredibly selfish and entitled. Being happy where you work is important and sounds like you have achieved that while maintaining a good lifestyle. Why be bullied into changing that if you are happy? What kind of partner wants you to sacrifice happiness for money when there is no need? If you live in the US and make $60,000 per year, you are already in the top 1% in the world. Wife desperately needs a gratitude practice. I've told you repeatedly that I'm not changing my job. If you want more money, you can change your job. I'm not interested in discussing it again. As far as I'm concerned, this topic is closed. 170K. Damn. Salary goals. I live in a house of 4 adults and all combined we're making less than that a year. Red flag alert. This isn't going to end well. Better it ends on your terms than hers. Change the wife. So you and your wife both work, yet you do majority of the household chores. You do all the grocery shopping, cooking, laundry, dishes, and you still look after the child and both dogs? What all does your wife do exactly other than work? I ain't saying she a gold digger. Musical notes. My neighbors called me racist because I asked them if they could talk less loudly. Because the libraries are still closed in my country, my friends and I have been studying at my place. All my 3 friends from uni are from outside the city, so they have been coming to my place which is close to the city and we could come together and study. We had an exam today, and yesterday we were at my place again, learning hard. We could hear the neighbors who live under me though, and it was not hearing normal talking or anything like that, but almost yelling to the point we could hear what they were saying. Those neighbors have been living there for a few weeks and usually we would put in earplugs, but this time they did not work anymore at all. So I was like, okay, maybe I can ask them to talk a little bit less loud. I went downstairs, knocked on the door, someone opened and I said, "Hey, I'm sorry to ask this, but we have an exam coming up and are forced to study at home. Can you maybe talk a little bit less loud?" The woman in the door yelled at me I am racist, and should be ashamed of myself, and that she will call the police next time. She then shut the door really hard. I must add then, this was a black lady, and she called me racist, but why? I just asked her we had too much sound upstairs and if they maybe could tone it down a bit. What does racism have to do with this? My friends said they prefer to study at their homes from now on and I'm quite sad about that. My neighbors continued to talk even louder and sometimes go on till like 2–3 a.m. Earplugs barely work now. Anyone any thoughts how to communicate with them again? I never had any racist thoughts. I just want to study in a bit more silence now libraries are closed and I feel stuck at home. Thanks. The level of your voice has nothing to do with your race. You tried asking nicely, which is what most would do, but her reaction was not appropriate or constructive. Now to address the noise. Most apt or condos have noise restrictions that are built into the lease, or board. Living in these types of situations you are expected to keep reasonable noise levels at reasonable hours. Since she made some troubling accusations of your seemingly reasonable request, I would suggest making sure your interactions with her person to person are kept as low as possible. You can record the noise from inside your home best to keep detailed records. Hope it helps. People with a victim mentality will always go straight to racism. Poor examples of neighbors. I had a Indian friend who did the same thing to his neighbor. The neighbor complained to him about noise and he accused him of being racist. Then he proudly told us about it. He's not my friend anymore. Some people are just jerks. Sorry it happened to you. If I were you, I'll notify the apartment complex that this happened so that they have it in their records, because she can do the same to another person. Report them to your landlord or WA or whoever is in charge of those apartment complexes. If this goes on as late as you say it does, then you can call the cops on her, as you're not allowed to make loud noises past a certain time, within hearing range of residential properties. She's just looking for something to bitch about. For some people, racist is their go-to response to anything they don't like. Ignore the comment. If they keep making noise, make a noise complaint to your apartment management company, or to the police. Dummies pull the race card when cornered all the time. It's basically the black version of, "Let me speak to your manager." How could you be racist if you were raising the concern based on hearing not vision law? Don't talk to them, call the police.